Kaohsiung boosts efforts to control growing green iguana population. Typhoon Usagi approaches Taiwan. Warnings expected soon. Media veteran accuses Wen-je of sexual harassment. Indonesia's new leader calls for collaboration with China. Dutch police detain 50 protesters at pro-Palestinian rally. 6.8 magnitude earthquake shakes Cuba. Spirit Airlines and JetBlue planes struck by gunfire in Haiti. 50 kilometers nighttime bike ride for soup dumplings in China.
Hello, I'm Natalie. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Wednesday, November 13th, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan's news, the number of green iguana in Kaohsiung has been rising yearly, with sightseeing increasing as the weather cools. This year, the Agriculture Bureau removed over 5,800 iguanas and plans to invest $4 million next year, adding 3 high-power air guns and intensifying patrols in parks and waterways to manage the invasive species. Typhoon Usagi is moving northwest and expected to turn north by September 14 to 15. Meteorologist Kaohsiung predicts a sea warning at 4 a.m. tomorrow and a land warning by 8 p.m. The typhoon's impact on Taiwan depends on how quickly Pacific high pressure weakens. Veteran journalist Zhu Meifeng accused Taiwan's People's Party Kaohsiung of sexual harassment, claiming he made inappropriate comments and touched her hand during a 2022 meetings. Zhu shared a line message in which Ke complimented her appearance and suggests a government positions. And in global news, Indonesia's new leader called for collaboration rather than confrontation with China following the signing of $10 billion in new deal at a business venue in the Chinese capital before departing for the U.S. President Prabowo Subianto told the venue that his country wants to be part of China's emergency as not only an economy power, but also a civilizational power. He and Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed to deepen ties, elevating security to a fifth pillar of cooperation, alongside political, economy, maritime, and people-to-people exchange.
They agreed to hold a first-ever joint meeting of their foreign and defense ministers in 2025. While it doesn't have a formal dispute with Beijing, Indonesia reported that its patrol ships recently drove a Chinese Coast Guard vessel away from an Indonesian energy company's vessel conducting a seismic survey less than a month ago. Chinese companies have invested heavily in mining in Indonesia and helped build Indonesia's first high-speed railway, an 88-mile route between Jakarta and Bandung that opened last year. However, a flood of low-priced Chinese products has hit Indonesia's garment makers hard, leading to factory closures and prompting calls for import tariffs. The government has sought to placate domestic producers without angering the country's largest trading partner.
Dutch police said they removed more than 300 pro-Palestinian protesters who ignored a ban on demonstration in Amsterdam on Sunday and detained 50 more following crashes involving Israeli soccer fans last week. Hundreds of demonstrators gathered in the capital Dam Square chanting Free Palestine, and Amsterdam says no to genocide, in reference to the Gaza wall. After a local court upheld the city council's ban, police moved in, instructing protesters to leave and detaining over 100 of them.
Police said they removed 340 people from the protest area by putting them on buses and dropping them off on the outskirts of the city. Another 50 protesters were detained by the police. The ban, which authorities extended for another 4 days until Thursday, has been in place since Friday after attacks on Israeli soccer supporters following a match between visiting Maccabi Tel Aviv and Ajax Amsterdam. At least 5 people were injured in assaults that Dutch authorities and foreign leaders, including Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, denounced as anti-Semitic. In the Netherlands, protest organizers said in a message on Instagram that they were outraged by the framing of unrest around the match as anti-Semitic and called the protest ban draconian.
A 6.8 magnitude earthquake shook eastern Cuba on Sunday, following weeks of hurricanes and blackouts that have left many on the island rallying. The rumbling was felt across the eastern stretch of Cuba. There were no immediate reports of damage or injury. Residents in San Diego were left shaken on Sunday. Yolanda Tapio said people in the city flocked to the street and were still nervously sitting in their doorways. She mentioned feeling at least 2 aftershocks following the quake, but said that among friends and family, she had not heard of any damage.
The earthquake comes during another challenging period for Cuba. Last Wednesday, Hurricane Rafael, a Category 3 storm, ripped through western Cuba, with strong winds knocking out power island-wide, destroying hundreds of homes and forcing evacuations. Days later, much of the island was still struggling without power. Just weeks before, in October, Cuba was hit by a double blow. Widespread blackouts that stretched on for days, stemming from the island's energy crisis, followed by a powerful hurricane that struck the eastern part of the island, killing at least 6 people. The ongoing blackouts and rising discontent among those struggling to get by have sparked small protests across the island.
A Spirit Airlines plane flying from Fort Lauderdale, Florida to Haiti was diverted after it was struck by gunfire while attempting to land in Port-au-Prince. The plane was hit 4 times while attempting to land at Toussaint-Louverture Airport in the capital city. Spirit Airlines said in a statement that the plane diverted and landed safely in San Diego, Dominican Republic, adding that no passenger reported injuries. However, one flight attendant reported unspecific minor injury and was undergoing medical evaluation.
The plane came within 550 feet of the runway before aborting its landing and diverting to the Dominican Republic. After arriving in the Dominican Republic, an inspection revealed evidence of damage to the aircraft consistent with gunfire. The plane was taken out of service, and a different aircraft was secured to return the passengers and crew to Fort Lauderdale. On Monday, a JetBlue flight from Haiti to New York City was also hit by a bullet. After landing at John F. Kennedy International Airport, a post-flight inspection revealed that the exterior of the aircraft had been struck by a bullet. JetBlue said it is suspending all flights to and from Haiti through December 2nd due to civil unrest in the country.
They wrote for Soup Dumpling and a sense of useful liberation in pressure times. But a band of university students who cycled through the night ultimately met a red line from authority after their viral crest grew so popular that it snowed traffic in central China and overwhelmed an ancient capital, Kaohsiung. The nocturnal rides became a trend on Chinese social media in recent weeks after 4 female university students from Zhengzhou traveled to neighboring Kaohsiung for a taste of its famous soup dumplings, known locally as tanbao.
By the weekend, tens of thousands of students had joined this self-proclaimed night-riding army, seeking not just breakfast, but also a way to travel and socialize without spending much money. They rented shared bikes and cycled in groups through the night from Zhengzhou to Kaifeng. Waves of riders joined the 40-mile journey along a major road beside the Yellow River. The crowd moved slowly due to its size, with some cyclists carrying the Chinese flag and some people sleeping on the ground in a park after arriving in Kaifeng. Several popular tourist attractions in Kaifeng offered university students free admission, with one even giving those who cycled to Kaifeng from other cities a complimentary 366-day annual park pass.
The answer for yesterday was B, outcropping. The geologists discovered an outcropping of limestone near the river. Did you answer correctly? Now, let's delve into the news of 50-kilometer nighttime bike ride for soup dumplings in China. Number 1. Quest, 寻找, 追求. The knight embarked on a quest to find the lost treasure hidden in an ancient forest. Number 2. Nocturnal, 夜间活动的. Owls are nocturnal creatures that hunt for food at night. Number 3. Self-proclaimed, 自称, 自我宣称. He is a self-proclaimed expert in economics. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer will you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section, and correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday news. Be sure to tune in to Funday news from Monday to Friday, and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Natalie, your host. I'll see you next time.